it takes is one look around the crowd to know it's finally race day. The atmosphere at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is incredible. Personally, I think we're in for a brilliant race. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history. It could be the cause of a safety car today.
No formation lap. It is going to be 5 red lights. And the drivers are off. We're going to take a look down at turn 1 here. Very important for all of these drivers to have a clean turn 1 and 2, and 3 and 4 are also quite crucial as well. So far, everybody looking like they're getting away relatively clean here through the opening phase of this race. Very good. Squirmy not with us. As you can see, he is in 19th. His car in the pits at the moment. Zamajo in the lead of this race with Finn not too far behind him, as we've had a major bug here. That is Squirmy in the pits. He has jumped into lead of this race, technically speaking. Not too sure what's happening there. Hopefully that gets sorted out. But Zamajo is most definitely leading this race in that Ferrari, with Finn and Samus trying to stay very close with him. Having started on pole position, though, he has a great jump into that first turn. And he definitely controls the pace of the race if he gets a good start through into that opening phase of this circuit. All the drivers now coming through Wall of Champions, keeping things relatively clean. Nobody into the wall just yet. You can see now Squirmy's car returning to the back of the grid as all of these drivers cross the line for the first time. Zamajo making his way through 3-4 now up into 5-6. Finn just over a second away from the Ferrari. Samus dropping back behind him now as well. Jean taking a 3-second time penalty after multiple warnings. Remember, guys, corners is on strict. Yoda in the Ferrari, he's looking to catch up to Samus here in that Renault coming out of turn 8. Going down into the hairpin, turn 9. BTFU in that Toro Rosso, you can see him there as well. And Astroday in the McLaren not too far behind him. Mikal not having the qualifying I'm sure he wanted to have here in this race. He starts on the soft compound tires, and he's going to look up to make some spots back up on the grid. Finn now stretching his car out so that he's able to get back into the DRS of Zamajo. You can see him just tapping his toes into the water under that 1 second mark there on the timing tower. Samus, however, has dropped back a significant amount behind his teammate in the Renault. Yoda is absolutely blistering in that Ferrari behind him, though, and really wants to get that podium position away from Samus. He is going to have the DRS here coming out of turn 6. As we move through into the 7-8 chicane, keeping it nice and close to the rear of that Renault here. We have a beautiful camera angle on the front right of this wing. Coming down into turn 9, the hairpin. Ooh, Yoda thinks about the inside there. Samus doing a good job of closing the door. He's going to maintain that 3rd position, but Yoda is going to have DRS down this back straight, and it is very strong here. Canada circuit with multiple DRS zones, making it very easy for these drivers to stay within close proximity. Yoda still not able to get that move done. He is going to have DRS down the pit straight now. Is he going to make a move? He does. He is going around the inside of Samus down into turn 1. You can see him getting out in front of that Renault there. BTFU watching all of this unfold. Now BTFU on a charge in the Toro Rosso. He's going to have DRS on Samus, but Samus still within the DRS of Yoda is going to have it as well. BTFU, you can see, getting a very good run out of turn 6 there into the 7-8 chicane. A little bit of a slip on the exit of turn 8 here as we go down into the hairpin. Samus going a little wide there, leaving the inside wide open for BTFU. He's going to gain a lot of time in this turn. He is going to have DRS on Samus, and Samus just barely maintaining DRS proximity to the Ferrari ahead of him, that is Yoda. BTFU, a major cut there on the Wall of Champions chicane. That is going to affect his race finish for sure, unless he serves that time penalty in the pits, which I doubt. Samus catching up to Yoda once again. Finn in that Renault currently sat in second position. He is struggling to keep up with the very fast Zamajo. Zamajo giving me flashbacks to Sebastian Vettel here in the 2019 season, but we all know how that went. So hopefully there's no wheel-to-wheel action causing any damage to either of these drivers, or, you know, an FIA penalty. But BTFU here in the Toro Rosso doing a very good job of sticking with Samus. Aphrodite leading another train back here. We have a couple of little trains out on circuit right now. Rackety and Falcon are going to be fighting Aphrodite very soon here for 6th position, as they are going to have DRS on him moving down the back straight. Aphrodite not quite in DRS proximity of BTFU, is going to lose out here on the straight. Vettel in P9, we saw him have a very unfortunate turn of events yesterday as he was unable to finish all 3 rounds. Not the results he wanted to see coming into this tournament, especially the results on day 1. Little Bear behind Gadwin now, fighting for P10. He is currently 4/10 away. BTFU and Samus doing a very good job of sticking with Yoda here. As you can see, Little Bear very, very close to the rear of that Red Bull as we have a beautiful aerial shot. He makes a move around the inside of the... Wow. The 3-4 chicane. Very, very nice on that 3-4 chicane. Little Bear making a very easy move up into 10th, and that's Custom now as well, moving up into 11th. Gadwin losing out there. He is going to have DRS to try and make a switch back into the 7-8 chicane, but nothing doing. Custom now catching up with Little Bear, trying to stick with that Alfa Romeo. Falcon on the rear of Rackety with the DRS. Is he going to be able to make something happen here into the 11-12 Wall of Champs chicane? Looks like he's going to keep it patient and stay very close to the rear of that Alpha. A little bit of a brush of the Wall of Champs there. And you can see Samus, BTFU, and Vettel all deciding it's time to get off of those soft tires. The soft tires here in Canada degrade very, very quick. But even more importantly than that, I am eager to see who out of the 2 front runners is going to blink first. Will it be Zamajo, or is it going to be the Renault of Recycle Finn, as Falcon into P6 now, still doing a very good job of sticking with Rackety, and Rackety catching up to the McLaren of Aphrodite as well. Now BTFU and Samus both onto the fresh tires. We're going to jump on over to them real quick. Let's see if they're going to make some early passes out of the pits on the fresh compound tires. Velcro, ooh, a big slide out from the rear of that McLaren there. He's going to lose a ton of time. You can see the Renault of Samus just charging on him down the hairpin. That's Samus. Very, very tight in the inside of the hairpin, making it up into P11, and now BTFU on those fresh mediums going to have to fight through Velcro in order to catch Samus. So Samus putting himself into a good position here. He does have the DRS. Velcro is sitting duck, doing a very good job of defending here into the 11-12 chicane. Finn, Aphrodite, Falcon, Rackety all deciding to jump into the pits. Yoda as well. So Finn, out of the 2 front runners, comes out in 4th. Zamajo pitted and had such a good gap that he managed to get out in 1st. Little Bear into the 2nd position on the grid with the 7-lap old soft compound tires. Finn absolutely raining down on him with the DRS now. The fresh compound tires and the absolute power of that Renault is going to make a very easy move down the inside of that Alfa Romeo through the 7-8 chicane. You can see Little Bear definitely struggling here with that. With the old soft compound tires, the degradation is going to be absolutely killing him. As Custom, you can see here making a move up the inside of Little Bear into the hairpin. Very nice move from the Williams driver of Custom. He did start this race on those mediums. Will we see a pit from him now, or is he going to go a little longer? I think he can go a little longer for sure on those mediums. Little Bear. Ooh, a little bit of a brush with the rear of Custom there. He's lost a front wing, and Custom gets a 3-second time penalty for getting pushed through that 11-12 chicane. So, Little Bear into the pits, Gadwin into the pits, and Velcro all into the pits. So, it is back to Zamajo and Finn at the front of the grid, but Zamajo has now pulled 3.2 seconds out of the Renault. Custom in third on those 8-lap old mediums with Jean not too far behind him. He's within 3 seconds. Are going to be fighting to maintain those positions and pull a gap away from Samus, but it's going to be quite difficult with Samus on those fresh tires. Falcon 9 takes a 3-second time penalty. As we're now at the halfway point on lap 9 here in Canada of this race, BTFU is very quick behind the rear of Samus in that Toro Rosso. BTFU with great speed will be looking to make a pass on Samus. Will he be able to make a move down the inside of the hairpin? No, he thinks better of it. Samus going a little wide there on the hairpin again. Seems like he may be struggling a little bit through that hairpin. Could just be the line that he likes to take, but he is going to be suffering now with BTFU and the DRS around the outside. Samus, a sitting duck, nothing he can do to defend against the speed of that Toro Rosso with the DRS. BTFU doing a good job making it clean through Wall of Champions. We saw him take a penalty earlier there in that chicane. Samus has already dropped back a second behind that Toro Rosso, but that's Aphrodite next to Samus here, making a move around the outside. Is he going to be able to get it done? No. He's going to have to wait to fight another day as we move into 3-4. He's dropping back behind Samus a little bit. Both him and Samus saving through these turns. BTFU catching up with John. John on the 9-lap old mediums. BTFU on the fresher tires. A lot of these drivers picking their battles very carefully, as you would normally see a lot of drivers diving turns and chicanes like this. Fortunately, we have a lot of level-headed drivers on the grid today, able to wait. They understand it's not a 5-lapper, it's an 18-lap race. A lot of time to get moves done at the moment. BTFU making it nice up through into 4th there on the inside of John. And that's Samus alongside John now. You can see all of these cars moving down this back straight into the Wall of Champions. Samus and BTFU very tight through that chicane. Samus with the DRS looking to gain some momentum into turn 1 here as we enter lap 11 for these drivers. One thing I touched on yesterday, Samus on the Fanatec wheel, BTFU is on a pad. So a battle of the controllers here. Wheel versus gamepad. The signature battle. Astrode is going to be within the DRS of Samus going through into Sector 3 in just a moment if he's able to get a good exit out of Turn 8 here, and it looks like he does. The hairpin is going to be crucial as they are all passing the DRS detection zone now. I think Astrode might have just nicked the DRS, and he did. So he's going to have DRS catching him up to P4. Samus with the DRS on BTFU, not quite close enough to make a move here. He looks inside. He understands there's no way I'm making that move clean. BTFU in 3rd right now. Samus battling for a podium as we are currently on lap 12, and we have a safety car deployed. That is Gadwin in the Red Bull out of this race at probably the most typical place you'd see a crash like that happen. It is, of course, the infamous Wall of Champions. So safety car conditions, this is going to play in the favor of a lot of drivers on this grid now, as we have only 6 laps remaining in this race. I have a feeling we're going to see some pit stops here. This is going to definitely hurt Zamajo's chances at a win. We'll see if he decides to stay out. As you can see now, he's coming down that Sector 3 back straight. Jay, the funky JJ, currently 17th. He's into the pits, and Squirmy, of course, has been there the entire race. So that is Zamajo, the race leader, into the pits now, and I do believe Finn has stayed out. He is gambling here on those medium compound tires. He's thinking, hey, I might be okay. The softs are going to degrade quite quick here in Canada, but BTFU, Samus, who have both made some very difficult choices on tires over the past few races, both in MRL and yesterday in day 1, getting in on the action, getting onto those soft compound tires. The entire grid now deciding to jump on those tires. Yoda and Astrodite aren't joining the club. They're staying out with the cool kids club on the mediums. Luktra on those hards, 10 laps on the hards. We didn't actually notice that earlier on. So he's been racing on these hards for the entirety of the race, decides not to pit, and he is staying out. So could we have a nice position for Luktra at the end of this race? It's going to be difficult because now a lot of these drivers on the fresher soft compound tires are going to have a lot of speed, as they are the quickest tire on circuit. Zamajo out onto the softs in second position, not going to have any traffic to go through with the exception of Finn to regain race lead, and Astrodite and Yoda behind him on those mediums. So hopefully BTFU made the right call here and can pick up some good speed to catch up to the podium. As we saw him on third position earlier, he dove into the pits for these softs. Yoda and Astrodite, of course, overtook him while he was in that pit lane, getting the tires switched over. So he is going to have more speed in his tires than Yoda and Astrodite, but they do have track position. Astrodite, you can see weaving there down the pit straight, looking to get those tires warm. Safety car more than likely going to be coming in at the end of lap 14 here. Falcon takes a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Vettel. It just seems that over the course of some of our MRL races and league races, and of course day 1 yesterday of the March Madness Tournament, some of the drivers still struggling to understand that when the safety car is out, guys, it's extremely important to slow down. Don't take any unnecessary risks. Give the driver ahead of you some space, and by extension, the driver behind you will give you space as well. And it just makes it so that you don't ruin your race when everybody's driving slowly, you know, losing end plates or blowing your wing off or taking penalties being the most severe, I would think. But take it easy. Let the grid reform. Don't take any unnecessary risks. And, of course, keep your delta pace where it needs to be so that you don't ruin your own race when you may not know it. But the safety car, a lifeline for a lot of drivers throughout these races, especially in 25% distance races, because it really starts the race. And you can see there the front end plate. I do believe that's Yoda tapping the rear of a driver. He's taken a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Astrodite. Penalties now at the safety car restart are, if not before, more than ever, they are going to make a major impact to the finale of this race. So we'll have to see how the grid shapes up. Keep in mind, guys, if you're just tuning in, we have 2 more races to go after this. We're going to be going to Azerbaijan next, which I can only assume is going to be an extremely exciting race. And our finale in Belgium. You can see an end plate flying off here as we are back to green flag racing. Finn into the lead of this race. Zamajo, with these soft compound tires, is going to be doing everything he can to get that race position back quick, because those softs are going to go, and they're going to go fast. Astrodite in third right now in the McLaren. He's currently a 1.5 seconds behind our second position driver, but that's Zamajo, still super, super tight to the rear of the Renault. We aren't going to have DRS here until I do believe lap 17. So Zamajo going to have to do everything he can to stay behind the Renault with that Ferrari power on those soft compound tires. He's got a great exit here out of turn 8. Look at that move down the inside. He takes a look. Finn doing everything he can to keep Zamajo out of that position. Finn, who's going to have the better exit here? Looks like Finn. Oh, and there's a big push off to the side. He completely cuts Zamajo into the wall. He didn't give him any space at all there through turn 9. Or sorry, the exit of turn 9. Zamajo not going to be happy about that. Fortunately for Zamajo, I don't believe he took any damage. He did not. So Zamajo going to be driving angry now because that was very dirty indeed from the Finn driver. Unless it was lag. It could have been lag, but that was not too nice. Still a good fight though for the lead nonetheless. Astrod 8 third, BTF 4th, Custom rounding off the top 5 right now. Custom on the 5-lap old softs. He's going to be feeling the degradation by the end of this race for sure. And you can see after the restart, we've seen a multitude of penalties that come across the board. Finn just needs to keep Zamajo behind him long enough for those tires to feel their wear so that when the DRS comes, he has good power on the straights. Coming through turn 9 exit now. This is where we saw a little bit of a scrap earlier on, tapping that turn 10 non-existent corner. Good run down into 11-12 here, but it's not going to be enough without that DRS. Finn cursing under his breath right now, I can only imagine, at the fact that this is such a DRS-dominated circuit. 3 DRS zones. The pit lane, of course, the back straight down into the Wall of Champions, and the Sector 2 long straight as well before the 7-8 chicane. So, a lot of opportunity here for Zamajo to stay within the rear of this Renault, and Finn's not going to be happy about it being on those mediums at all. Ooh, making a move down the inside here. Oh my God, it's tight. Zamajo not able to get the move done out of 3-4 there. Moving down the Sector 2 straight, DRS enabled. He does have the great run. He makes a move. Wow, what a pass from Zamajo here. Finn, though, going to be looking to get that position back fast as he is on the medium tires. If he's going to get it done, he's going to have to get it done before we move into lap number 18. This is, of course, guys, the second last lap of the race. Finn now with the DRS. Down the back straight. He has a great run here. You can see how powerful that DRS is, and those medium compound tires playing a huge role for traction. Zamajo, a huge cut there through the Wall of Champs chicane. He's going to take a 3-second time penalty, and that is only going to hurt him here, as he has led that race. He has led this race pretty well the entire campaign. He maintains that lead, but is that penalty going to play a big enough role here? Finn, definitely hoping so. Finn going to have to do a very good job here of keeping it out of the exceeded track limit area and not cutting any corners, as you're going to see now. DRS for the Finn driver in the Renault coming down Sector 2. DRS just helps these cars carry so much speed. Astrod 8 and BTFU having a fight now for 3rd at the moment. Looks like BTFU made a good pass on Astrod 8 there to jump into the podium. But it's all about this battle for first place right now, guys. Finn dropping back a bit. Hopefully he's had a clean race and he's able to take his 4th straight victory here for the weekend event. Big cut there. Not too sure what he was thinking. That might have cost him a race win here. Zamajo crosses the line on track first. Finn finishing 2nd in the Renault. BTFU finishes in 3rd on track, but Astrod 8 keeping it clean will jump onto the podium. Very nice from him. And Custom, a good job of taking 5th. Rackety 6th. Excuse me, we've had some penalties come into play like we mentioned before. Vettel taking 5th position, his weekend best finish. Custom in 6th. Henry finishing out in the Toro Rosso 7th. Little Bear in 8th. Falcon in 9th. And Mikow not having the race he wanted to have, I'm sure, finishing off in 10th. Rackety 11th. Jean 12th. Luktra in 13th. Samus not having the best race either. He finishes 14th here. We saw him running with the big boys. Well, I shouldn't say the big boys, but the race leaders earlier on, as Samus is extremely, extremely quick. But through some of these league races that we've had, or I should say these event races we've had, he's just had some tough luck, as incidents have unfortunately plagued him for a majority of the races. You can see the Ferrari there. No second place for Ferrari this time around here in Canada. Zamajo righting the wrong that was, of course, Sebastian Vettel's P2 last season. Very good to see Zamajo taking a race win away from the very fast Recycle Finn, who won all 3 races yesterday. Zamajo doing his part to try and challenge him for that $25 US, as there are weekend event leaders at the moment. Let's take a look now at the times. Yoda finishing 15th. He's not going to be happy about that. As you can see, he started in 5th. He's taken a multitude of penalties here throughout the race. Velcro starting 11th. He drops back into 16th. And Jay 17th. And Gadwin, who we saw crash, unfortunately, at the Wall of Champions and causing that safety car earlier on, unable to finish